Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. 42-year-old Missouri resident Cale Clayton was first seen on the Capitol grounds. He was pointing at and taunting officers. Clayton then yelled at them, quote, "We are going to win. You don't have enough for all of us. You might hit me once or twice. You might spray me with pepper spray. I don't give a fuck. There ain't enough for millions of people here, and you know it." A while later, Clayton screamed at them, quote, "You guys are losing a lot of bodies. We're coming in one way or the other. We're coming in." Also, quote, "Get that pepper spray out. You don't have enough. You fired the first shot. Keep that door open. We're coming through right there." And quote, "Tip of the iceberg. What side of history are you on? The revolution is already happening. You are just a little speed bump in our way. It's happening." Well, about 30 minutes later, Clayton moved up to the Upper West Terrace, where he went from verbal confrontations to physical assaults. As officers attempted to clear the area, Clayton was seen on body cam footage grabbing a police riot shield, and he was attempting to pull it away from an officer. A few minutes after that, he grabbed the same officer's shield, and he attempted to push him backward. Around that same time, another officer dropped his baton, and before that officer could retrieve it, Clayton grabbed it, and then he took off into the crowd. Then Clayton approached another officer who had become isolated from the police line. He grabbed onto that officer's police shield, and he tried to pull it away from him with his free hand. So he still had the baton, then he's trying to pull away this other officer's shield. Following that interaction, he moved to another area of the Capitol grounds, and as he was walking by another police line, he was still brandishing the stolen baton, and an officer ordered him to hand it over, and Clayton refused. So the officer grabbed the baton, and the two of them started to struggle over it. Well, that's when Clayton shoved the officer's head, and then he grabbed that officer's face mask. So Clayton is still holding on to this baton that the officer's fighting with him over. And so the officer just grabbed it and pulled him through the police line, and he was placed under arrest that day. He was one of the very few who was arrested on the spot that day. So he was held in the Capitol Rotunda for a while, and then he was later released without formal charges being issued. So on March 15th of 2021, Clayton was interviewed by the FBI. At that time, they weren't aware of any of his violence or the theft of the baton. So Clayton told the agents that he was at the Capitol, but he said, "Oh, I didn't take part in any violence that day." He also lied about the stolen baton. And so Clayton told the investigators that he saw an officer drop the baton, and then he tried to return it. He said that he didn't want anyone to use it against the police. That's why he picked it up. Such a good guy. He claimed, though, that he was arrested only because he approached the police line and he didn't have his hands up. So Clayton was arrested on March 31st of 2022, and he was charged with civil disorder, 3 counts of assaulting or resisting officers, theft of property within special and maritime jurisdiction, entering restricted grounds, disorderly conduct on restricted grounds, and 2 counts of physical violence. In March of 2023, Clayton pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assaulting or resisting officers. So he was looking at up to 8 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. The prosecutor, though, requested only 33 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. This was due in part to the surprising fact that he has only 1 conviction, and it was for possession of drug paraphernalia, and this was all the way back in 2001. So Trump just brings out the worst in people, I guess. Anyway, U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth presided over Clayton's case. I couldn't locate any details about what was said at the sentencing hearing, but Clayton was sentenced to 30 months in prison, 2 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So Decent, I guess, for someone without a criminal history. I mean, at least he's still going to be locked up during the next presidential election. But it really pisses me off that they've only charged one January 6th participant with lying to a federal officer. I'd say 95% or more of these people have lied to the FBI when they're first interviewed. Yet out of over 1,100 people now that have been arrested, there's only one person who was charged with that crime. And that, I believe, was because he was working for the DEA at the time that he was at the Capitol. So otherwise, they wouldn't have hit him with it either. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.